Good morning, viewers. It's Movie Monday. What movie are we going to look at today? Well, let's wait till the intro's over and then maybe you'll find out.
Remember,
You're a wizard.
on second thought, let's not
We're to dig one hole in
Still princesses.
contract as you wish.
Oh no.
It's just a yellow brick.
No, Belina. You don't understand. This was the yellow brick road.
Oh.
It leads to the Emerald City. Oh no. What's happened?
Now, if you saw my third Books vs. Movies review on The Wizard of Oz, then you already kind of know how I feel about this story. Ultimately, the movie won in that review, but both book and movie have some pretty serious flaws, in my opinion. But despite my reservations, the story of Oz has captured the hearts and minds of generations of viewers and readers. And while today this is probably due to the popularity of the movie musical, let's keep in mind that the movie musical was inspired by the book and that the book was pretty popular in the 40 years between the day that it was released and the day that the movie was released. And also that the original story of The Wizard of Oz inspired not one, not two, but actually 39 sequels about the Land of Oz. However, it's only the first two of these sequels that concern us today as we review Disney's 1985 film, Return to Oz. Return to Oz is basically a schmoozing together of The Land of Oz and Ozma of Oz, books 2 and 3 from the Oz series. In addition, it adds several elements that make it more of a sequel to the original 1939 movie. Fairuza Balk plays Dorothy in this rendition of the story, and the first thing you'll notice about her is that she is considerably younger than Judy Garland. The age of this character is much closer to the age of the Dorothy that we read about in the books. And another thing that you'll immediately notice about this movie is that it actually looks at the consequences of what happened in the previous movie. One of the things that I've noticed about the original Wizard of Oz movie is that the final message is very much at odds with itself. If you've seen the stage musical a few times, then you know that it ends with a rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which has also become the quintessential song for that particular musical. But Somewhere Over the Rainbow is a song about going out and finding your dreams and finding a land beyond your own backyard. Whereas the final message of the movie is, there's no place like home and I'm never going to leave this house ever again. But Return to Oz assumes that when Dorothy said that at the end of Wizard of Oz, she was just kind of blubbering because she was so glad to be home. And now that some time has passed, she's starting to miss Oz and her friends again, and starting to get that feeling of wanting to travel somewhere over the rainbow. In fact, Dorothy is so obsessed with Oz and so obsessed with trying to find a way back there that her Uncle Henry and Aunt Em are very concerned about her. Aunt Em finally becomes so concerned that she takes Dorothy to a doctor who performs shock therapy on her in order to cure her of this delusion. Or at least he tries. And here's another parallel with the movie. Just like with the original Wizard of Oz movie, we have actors playing characters from Kansas and also characters from Oz. Upon returning to Oz, Dorothy finds that many of her beloved familiar landmarks have been destroyed. Munchkinland, the Yellow Brick Road, and even the Emerald City itself. Her friends the Tin Woodman and the Lion have been turned into stone, and the Scarecrow is nowhere to be found. And I have to say that this is one of the things that I love about this movie, the post-apocalyptic version of Oz. The plotline of somebody taking over the Emerald City and driving the Scarecrow out is right out of the Land of Oz, but in that case it was a much sillier plotline. We also see some new characters taken from both books. Belina, a talking chicken from Kansas. Tick-Tock, a mechanical man who is by far the most interesting Oz character that I've read about anyway. Jack Pumpkinhead from the Land of Oz. And also from the Land of Oz, the Gump, who is a monstrosity that they basically just build to escape from a castle.
That was a novel experience, wasn't it?
Another thing that I like about this movie is its antagonist. This movie has some pretty serious bad guys. First we have Mombi, who is actually a combination of two bad guys from the two books upon which this movie is based. Mombi is so vain and so concerned about her own appearance, she has actually cut off the heads from other people so that she can use them for herself. She also has the Powder of Life, which is used to bring Jack Pumpkinhead and the Gump to life. But the main bad guy of this story is the Gnome King, the ruler of a race of beings who live amongst the rocks. This is a serious bad guy in both book and movie. And the reason why is that you never really know whether he's going to end up being a bad guy or whether he's going to end up being just a misunderstood guy. He takes over the Land of Oz and drives out the Scarecrow, but he makes the argument that because of things that the wizard did, this is his right. He claims that the wizard stole his emeralds, and therefore he had to go and get them back, which, given the track record of the wizard, is not out of the realm of possibility. He also seems to feel sorry for Dorothy and her companions, giving them a fair chance to get Scarecrow back. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and say that this is a perfect movie. There are some serious plot holes, there are some serious problems with the movie, and it was made in the 80s, and the effects aren't always top-notch. And it is still a Disney movie, and it has a fairly typical Disney ending. But all in all, I really like this movie. I love the darkness of the tone, I love the way it treats the story, I love the way it presents us with consequences from the original story, and I love the way that it took the strongest elements from books 2 and 3 from the Oz series and presented us with a really compelling story all its own. And yes, I am going to be doing a books versus movies review on these stories, and I will talk more in depth about the movie and the books in that review. But for now, I'll just say that if you haven't seen the movie Return to Oz, go seek it out and watch it for yourself, because it really is a pretty good movie that should be watched more. And that does it for today's Movie Monday. I will see you tomorrow for whatever I decide to do tomorrow. Bye-bye.